go marching in. Oh, I love to be St. Albans. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
Oh, when the Saints!
Oh, when the Saints
Go marching in!
go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, I love to be St. Albans. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Dinamo, Dinamo, Dinamo.
Well done, girls. Super effort.
Yeah,
Line up
I
now.
and you scored!
Who's there?
Owen!
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, I love to be St. Albans. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
Oh, when the Saints!
Oh, when the Saints
Go marching in!
go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, I love to be St. Albans. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
Was it one?
No!
Was it two?
No!
Was it three?
No!
Was it four?
No!
Was it five?
No!
Was it six?
No!
Was it seven?
No!
Was it eight?
Welcome to DinamoTV, and there is no sweeter sound than hearing your own club's theme song sung with such passion, such enjoyment, such excitement. My name's Taunji Prusats. I'm your host for DinamoTV tonight, and it's fitting that with Female Football Week officially concluding on Thursday, there you have it, folks. We had some of our youngest female members of the St Albans Dinamo Football Club singing the theme song so proudly and passionately. Well done, girls. Folks, we've got a massive show tonight. It's episode 18. We say it every week, don't we? It's going to be a massive show. And indeed, it is a massive show. And we've got lined up tonight, we've got the coaches, the respective coaches from the senior men's and the senior women's team, Cameron Watson and Tom Pondelyak. We will have the two Players of the Week award winners for both the senior men's and the senior women's as well. We'll take a trip down memory lane with our feature tonight from the Vault. Focuses on a past club president whom we hope to have live and exclusive on the show in coming weeks. We'll also get to know our latest Meet the Team, and tonight it's the Junior Boys U13s. They play in the Under-13 Red Division of the Under-13A competition, and we'll get to know them a little bit later on. Plus all the news, views, and all the usual stuff that we have. Plus we've got footage of our senior men's and the senior women's games this week. Lots to get through tonight. I hope you are active in the chat section as well. Tell us what you think. Tell us who you'd like to see interviewed over the coming weeks of DinamoTV. And if there's anything else that you'd like to discuss, like to chat about, well, feel free to drop in the chat line, and we might even bring it up and bring it up for discussion. Until then, folks, we've got a few messages from our major sponsor, the I&D Group, for whom we are very, very thankful for. And after that, we'll return with the news desk. Don't go away. It is DinamoTV you are watching.
The I&D Group is regarded as one of the largest deliverers of concrete structure solutions in Victoria. Formed in 1994 by Ivan and Kathy Filipovic, their passion and commitment to getting the job done safely and economically has underpinned their success in the industry. I&D partners with large-scale building and construction companies in both the private and public sectors on projects large and small. With our corporate headquarters based in South Melbourne and storage yard based in the southeast suburbs, we have at our disposal thousands of square metres of quality materials, along with state-of-the-art lifting and crane equipment, enabling us to deliver the largest projects. We are committed to delivering high-quality projects by partnering with our clients and collaborating with project suppliers to ensure each job is delivered to exceed expectations. From humble beginnings, I&D now employs more than 1,200 dedicated professional and support staff, involved in a number of landmark projects right across Victoria. The I&D Group is a massive supporter of the Croatian community, backed soccer clubs in Victoria, and is proud to be the major sponsor of the St Albans Dinamo Football Club in 2024.
Welcome back to DinamoTV, and indeed it is time for the news desk. Now, sadly, we must start this week's news desk with a little bit of sad news, a lot of sad news, in fact. Former President Ivan Pavlovich, who was also heavily involved with our sister club Melbourne Knights, who was also vice president and president, and towards the end there, he was heavily involved in the fundraising side of things. Well, he sadly passed away during the week. Dinamo put up a post. Our club is saddened by the passing of former club president and member of the Greater Croatian Community of Victoria, Ivan Pavlovich. We send our condolences to the entire Pavlovich family, Počiva u miru Božjem. And the Melbourne Knights, a few days later, also came up with a very nice, very touching tribute to pokojni Ivan Pavlovich. My own personal recollections of Ivan: he was an absolute legend of a man who was involved heavily when his son-in-law, Tony Karlušić, became president of Melbourne Knights, and it was that changeover of the generations. And if there's one person who gave the younger generation a real helping hand, it was certainly him. Anything to do with fundraising, anything to do with engaging the pensioners or the older members of the community, Ivan was always there. So, Ivan, rest in peace. Moving along now to the senior men's team this week. We had a new coach at the helm. We came up against the top team. And after just 1 minute into the game, we scored a goal. And after that, unfortunately, a couple of defensive errors led to, conceding a few more goals. Here's some highlights from the round 13 clash last Sunday at Churchill Reserve. The first one for several weeks. And your commentators, Kate Lucas and Katie Lambeski.
To you, Kate, as well. Big week of change as well, must be noted for Dinamo. Of course, Cam Watson and Billy Selesky taking over the senior coaching roles so far. But
an early effort here from St Albans, and they've scored within seconds. Oh, they couldn't have wished for a better start than that. It's Alan Jerez. And the Cameron Watson era here at Churchill Reserve is off with a bang.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Here we are, barely any time to breathe and get set up here, and Alan Jerez wasting little time introducing himself to the new coaching staff here. Unbelievable start, and that's the start that they needed. That is what they needed straight out of the box. A quick start. Couldn't afford themselves to fall back early on against this side.
So St Albans momentarily down to 10 men as Mikola sends it right into the hot spot. Bullich got it away, but not convincingly. And now it's in the back of the net, but will it stand? Noah Langarak is there. South is celebrating. And it looks like it is a goal. So
options on the ball, particularly for Divan and Buckraw whenever they get in possession. No use in them trying to hold up the ball when there's not enough runs and movement off it. That's where your Jerez and King need to have a bit more of a say, but they've been kept busy in defence, especially Monek here.
Oh, that's a risky back pass by Nazari, and it's gone in for a second goal to South Melbourne and a second for Nuhul Bernarda. And after going behind in the opening seconds, South Melbourne back where they will feel they belong, on top. They lead by 2-1 at Churchill Avenue. And it's a Dinamo ball. Nazari, first touch just let him down, and here comes South through Brennan. Now it's Sawyer. Barcia. They're loading up for one final foray here. South, it's a good ball in. Brennan, 3-1. They're going back to the top with a bullet, South Melbourne. Here we go though. Jurgic. Again, they turn it over, and this could be costly. It's Sawyer running at the defence. Citsinaris out wide. Comes to Citsinaris, and he makes it 4. Oh, that is some finish. Jurgic. Nothing doing on that occasion. And that brings to an end an entertaining afternoon of football here at Churchill Reserve. But in the end, normal service has been resumed. Dinamo got off to it.
Here we are with new senior coach Cameron Watson. Cameron, welcome to the club.
Thank you.
And thoughts on your first week, 3 training sessions I think it's been?
Yeah, look, it's been good. I guess it was always interesting to see what the environment was like coming in, and the boys have been brilliant all week. Intensity's been really good, application's been really good. They're committed to, I guess, what we kind of want them to do, well, no, what we want them to do. The message is pretty clear from us, and I don't think we could have asked for a better kind of first week, obviously, but the result tonight, but the intent, application, and the buy-in from the lads has been good.
And obviously, really tough game first up, home to South Melbourne. The perfect start, I think 11 seconds, so we went 1-0 up.
Probably too early, but yeah, a good start. But look, they're at the top for many reasons. They're quite efficient in what they do, and I think I think the first 2 goals were quite poor. I thought we could have done more to kind of prevent them from happening. But in saying that, we had some really good moments. We, stuff that we can show the boys and show them that they can actually do what we ask them to do. And look, you kind of search and probe for an equaliser in the second half, and you get done on the counter attack against a good team, and they'll punish you for making kind of small errors.
Yep, and so obviously big week again next week against, I think, 3 games in a week next week. Started with Port Melbourne on Saturday.
Yeah, got Port at home, and then obviously Gully in the cup after. But yeah, looking forward to Port now, and it's just kind of making sure everyone's recovered. Obviously kind of short turnaround, and prep for that. And keep working on what we want to build over the short and long term.
Yeah, well, as I said, welcome to the club. Hopefully on the bigger and better things next week, and we'll keep working hard on the track.
Cheers, thank you.
No worries.
And so now if we turn our attention to, first of all, the ladder, that sees us in second last position with 7 points. We really need to start getting some points, and we certainly, started very well with that Guerres goal after just 1 minute. And now we just need to continue that form and continue that application for the remaining 89 minutes. But I'm sure that this week against Port Melbourne Sharks on Saturday night, I think it's going to be an absolute perler. The boys will be very, very motivated, and with the benefit of having a week and a bit of new coach Cameron Watson there as well. Hopefully this week we see a little bit of a turnaround as well. It's round 14, the first game of the second half of the season, and this is where we really need to start getting some points to start moving off the bottom, I guess, echelon of the ladder, getting away from the dreaded relegation zone. Kick-off on Saturday afternoon, 5 p.m. So if you're not doing anything Saturday night, do hang around and celebrate hopefully what will be a 3-pointer for Dinamo at Churchill Reserve. At 2:30 p.m. that afternoon, the under-23s kick off. And the under-23s unfortunately lost 0-3. Dinamo dropped down to 11th on the ladder, so that's 4th last. Marginally better than the seniors. And we come up against Port Melbourne, who are 6th on the ladder this weekend. So a very, very crucial game happening for Dinamo. We just, like I said, we certainly need to do a lot better than what we have been doing over the last few weeks. If the men can't do very well, the women are doing an exceptional job, that's for sure. And last Friday night, Dinamo came up against Sydenham Park at Keilor Lodge Reserve. This was always going to be a tough game, but in the end, a good win by the Dinamo women's team. 2-1 with Isabel Delia scoring her second goal of the season and Christina Cholina getting her first for the season. So a very, very good win in the end there by the St. Albans Dinamo women coming up this week. This shifts Dinamo to the top of the competition standings. So 3 wins and 1 draw from their 4 games. In second place, we've got the rivals, Westgate. Westgate, who are 3 wins from 3 games. They are in second spot. So now with an odd number of teams in State League, in Women's State League Division 2, with the withdrawal of Lara United, that means there are only 9 teams. And subsequently, that also means that each week there's going to be a bye. So Westgate have had their bye. Before too long, Dinamo will also have its bye. There's some more action happening there. And after this, we'll hear a little bit from senior coach Tom Pondeliak. Big shout out to Rob Cholina, by the way. Nick Delia, who is our usual man on the spot, he wasn't around and wasn't available for this game. But in the end, then we had Rob Chalmers do a fantastic job with some of this footage, game day footage, and also he assumed the role of DinamoTV reporter after the game when he interviewed Tom Pondella. That's coming up shortly. By the way, a little later on, we'll also be announcing who the winner of this week's award was.
Tom, 2-1 win tonight. Bit controversial, few things probably didn't go our way, but great win overall. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, we just knew coming into the game it was going to be pretty tough. Sydney actually a really good side, but to be fair, our girls they executed really well. I was actually expecting a little bit more from Sydney, but I think they sort of sat back on us and gave us the opportunity to really attack them, especially in that first half. But yeah, look, the girls are good tonight. They were working really hard. We probably weren't at our best, which in a roundabout way is probably a little bit of a good sign. Yeah, we obviously managed to run the game out, but it was a tough game. Look, don't get me wrong, it was a tough game, but the girls were awesome tonight. Like I said, every week in, week out, they try their hearts out, and that's what I've told them. I go, the harder you try, the more you try, more than likely you're just going to get rewarded. So just really happy to come away with 3 points tonight.
Beautiful. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, mate.
Tom Pondella after the game speaking with Rob Chalmers. We could take a look at the ladder. As we said, Dinamo now on top after 4 rounds. 1 point ahead of Westgate, who have got a 100% record at the moment. And this week we come up against bottom side Maribyrnong Swifts. Now, on one hand, this is a game where it should be a percentage booster. The girls should take all 3 points, and they should also win quite handsomely. However, you never get complacent against the bottom side because they are the danger games. You can't afford to drop any points. This clash, round 5 clash, will kick off at 3 p.m. on Sunday at Johnston Reserve. So make sure if you're out and about on Sunday afternoon, do pop down to Johnston Reserve and watch our girls in action. It's going to be a busy week for St Albans Dinamo over the next few days. On Tuesday, all the action returns to Churchill Reserve. And make sure you're there for the big Australia Cup round 6 clash between Dinamo and Green Gully. The bar and kitchen will be open. There'll be teams training on the practice pitches, on the pitches 2 and 3. So no doubt Tuesday night will be a hive of activity at Churchill Reserve. Come along on Saturday. Come along also on Tuesday. And speaking of events happening at Churchill Reserve, Porkfest is coming up on Friday the 24th of May, which is Friday week, and that's from 6 p.m. There are still tickets left. There's going to be live music, but you do need to book, and make sure you contact Anna on 0401 505 100. That's 0401 505 100. And it's after the Mother's Day event. It was just the other day, last Thursday, it was chockers. So make sure that you do book in advance. You don't want to miss out a second time round. There's also going to be quite a few functions happening up in June and July as well. So lots happening, a few fundraisers, and that we'll be talking about that in future editions of DinamoTV. We're going to take a very short break, and when we return, folks, we've got a very, very special Mother's Day tribute to all the Dinamo mums. Mother's Day, of course, was last Sunday, and stay tuned for that on DinamoTV. Yes, we certainly hope it was a happy Mother's Day for everyone, and for all the Dinamo mums out there. And a big, big thank you to all the Dinamo mums that do such a good job. Doesn't matter what it is, where they are, they're always involved. So we thank you very much. It's such a wonderful community, the Dinamo community, from the top to the bottom, all the volunteers behind the scenes as well. And once again, it's a very, hopefully it was a very, very happy Mother's Day. And we're going to now move on with the rest of the show. We've got another commercial break, and when we return, it's time to meet the team. This week's Meet the Team is the boys, Junior Boys U13 team, and we'll also have a little bit of a blast from the past in our From the Vault. And Frankie Ivkovic, stay tuned, because what do they say? Watch out what you wish for.
Under 13s, Leo Causal. How you going to go today, mate? First game of the season. What do you reckon?
Hat-trick.
Hat-trick? Who are you playing?
Ballarat City.
What number you got in your back? Let me have a look.
12.
Oh, number 12, mate, the big one too. Look at that, didn't miss a beat. How long have you been at Dinamo, Mr. Leo Causal?
Since I was probably 2.
Since you're about 2 years old.
Probably
Very famous.
8 years. 8, 9 years.
Very good. So who are you playing? What?
Ballarat City.
Ballarat City. All right, good luck, buddy, for the season. Hope you get a win today to start the season.
Yeah.
What's your name, buddy?
Levi.
Levi. What number have you got on your back? I think I saw number 3.
Yeah.
What position do you play?
Centre back.
Very good. Big game against Ballarat City, first game of the season.
Yeah.
How do you reckon you'll go today? And what do you reckon if you get a win today? How's the rest of the season looking?
Get a win today. It'd be good for us because we haven't been doing very well. But yeah, win today will help some motivation.
Fantastic, thanks, mate. Good luck and all the very best for today and for the rest of the season, champ. Well done.
Loves his soccer and he's our favourite Richmond player, and he's on the line now. He's out at the St Albans, a soccer club. He's got the juniors, they're very excited there. And Big Ivan, welcome. He does everything. What are you at the St Albans Soccer Club? Ivan, what's your title?
I'm actually the president this year, so I put my hand up to work on the committee, and it's all going really well so far.
Good on you, mate. You got all the juniors there in the background, is it?
Yeah, big day for all the kids. They're all playing at home, so come down to support the show as well as the club.
And how many games of soccer did you play, Ivan, before football?
Oh, not many games of soccer. I played a lot in the schoolyard and that sort of thing, but I grew up down at this club. My dad always brought me down here every weekend.
Yeah, well, we got one of the great soccer goals there up in Sydney there a couple of weeks ago when Jack Rewalt, that was fantastic. You just waltzed in it and kicked a beautiful goal from the penalty.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing how it unfolded. So, and it was a really good win up there against Sydney. After this game, we'll review it tomorrow and do those things.
Hey, straight after the game, Jack Rewalt was very emotional. It was such a close game. You had to give him a big bear hug. What did you say to him in that moment? It wasn't caught on camera, but he was just so badly wanted the team to win.
Yeah, look, Jack's a super competitive guy, and yeah, I could see that he was getting a bit emotional about the whole thing, and I was hurting as much as him, but you know, yeah, I just sort of got around him and supported him, and that's just like what I did with yeah, all my other teammates as well.
You're in great form yourself, big fella. You took on big Sandylands yesterday, but you're also doing it on the ground, and you had the Brownlow medal favourite in your sights at one stage there. His eyes lit up, and he thought he was running an open goal, but he didn't count on the big fella running him down from behind.
Yeah, it's amazing how that worked out. But I was just, like I said before, I want to support my teammates as much as I can, and with Kochi going head-to-head with Fife was a huge match-up, and I think, I hope a lot of people enjoyed watching it because it was sort of really inspiring to be alongside him on the field, and yeah, it was good to get that tackle, and you know, it always feels good when you do those sorts of team things.
How did the Cochin matchup come about? Did he ask for the job, and was the team's whole strategy to put physical pressure on Nate as much as you could?
Yeah, definitely, and even Big Sandy as well, we sort of wanted to target those guys, and the great thing about Trent is that he's been all about team first football all year. He'll do all the team jobs before.
Well done, Big Ivan. I've got the jumper on here. This is the St Albans Soccer Club, which he's the president of. It was a theme song, Bill? Yes, I do. We're a happy team at St Albans. We're the mighty fighting St Albans. Now, give us a bit of a cheer there. Get the youngsters involved, Big Ivan, and we'll send you off.
Yeah. Give us a cheer.
Yeah. When he sways, they all yell, and he calls them to court. It's fantastic. Well done, Ivan. Thanks for your time, mate.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your support.
We're a happy team at St Albans. I don't think so, Billy. And I had to crack up about it was a size medium T-shirt that suddenly became an extra large. That was from the Vault, former president Ivan Maric. He did a lot of ambassadorial work during his AFL days and still continues to do that. So well done to Ivan. Yes, we're going to take a little short break, very, very short break. In fact, when we return, it's going to be time to announce who last week's senior women's team player of the week was. And then after that, we'll have the men follow as well. So stay tuned for that coming right up. Welcome back to DinamoTV, and joining us live is Leah Sioannidis from the senior women's team. She's the player of the week. Leah, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Oh, well done. That's awesome. And now tell us all about the game. It was a tough game, but you guys did so well.
Yeah. Look, the girls played amazing. Tommy always says to us, like, you know, not every week is not going to be an easy week.
Yeah.
So we go out there, do all our best, and hope to get those 3 points. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you've got a bit of a cold, you know, so you exerted yourself so hard that you've just crashed and burned. Is that right?
Yeah. Feeling a bit under the weather, but that's okay. We move.
Yeah. How you feel? How are you getting? Sort of starting to feel a little bit better. Will you be in action this weekend?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm feeling a bit better, but we'll see how we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about, well, first of all, before we talk about this week's game, let's talk about the season so far. So far, the girls have done really, really well. Seem to have every time we get one of the girls on the show each week, there's such a real positivity that seems to be flowing. The atmosphere in the dressing rooms at the moment must be so good. Must be really, really pumping, is it?
Yeah, unreal. Like, everyone just seems very happy. I feel a bit nervous before going out on the pitch, but everyone seems to be like in happy spirits and, you know, ready to go out there and win.
Yeah, and you play goalkeeper, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and how's that all going? The defence looking after you, are they?
Yeah, look, I was a bit nervous coming into the team, but
Yeah.
everyone's just been so welcoming and they've made the whole thing easier. So
Super.
I'm getting there slowly,
Yeah.
but every week's just a new week for me. So yeah.
Where else have you played before coming to Dinamo?
When I was younger, I used to play at Barnsworth for a bit.
Yeah.
And then I used to play at sorry, not Dinamo, Melbourne Knights.
Oh, nice. And
Yeah.
you're from the sister club. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well done. This week, actually, on Sunday, 3 p.m, game at Johnson Reserve against the Maribyrnong Swifts.
Yeah.
Do you know much about them? What are they like?
I don't really know much about them. I think the girls played them last year, but I'm not too sure. Hopefully it's a easy win, but we'll see how we go.
Well, it's top versus bottom. We are top, thankfully, and Maribyrnong are on the bottom at the moment. But obviously, with games like that, we can't be too complacent. And and I'm sure we're going to have you at the back barking commands and making sure that the defence is on their toes.
Yeah.
We wish you all the very best for not just for Sunday, but for the season ahead as well.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to DinamoTV, and gosh, the year is flying by, isn't it? We're at the halfway mark of the senior men's NPL season, and this week marks the first game of the second half of the season. And well, before we even look to the future, let's look to the past. And last week's Player of the Week winner for the senior men's, well, let's have a look and see who it is coming. It's Marko Bulic. Congratulations, Marko.
Thank you.
This must be, the third time this year or something like that?
I couldn't tell you. Once or twice. I don't know.
You lose the sight. I guess the positive of that is that you're obviously having a very, very good season. I guess the negative, when the goalkeeper is winner of the Player of the Week, and it was a scoreline of 4-1, unfortunately, albeit against the tough top side. We are doing something wrong with our defence and our defensive-minded part of the game. New gaffer, is that something that he's really focused on, Cameron Watson?
Yeah, look, Cameron Watson and both him and Billy, they've came in and they've just tried to do everything they can for us to get back on the track that they know we can be. I think they've come in and all the boys have got around them, and everyone's really trying to buy into the process and to the way they want to play, which is good.
Yeah.
And I think it's not so much about changing a lot of things; it's about tightening the screws and making sure we're on top of it ourselves. Like we've got the players to do it. It's just about us putting ourselves up to the task.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point that you make, because in many games with this year, we've done well, we've held possession, we've looked like scoring, we just haven't been able to score, or we've conceded some cheap goals across the defensive line, which no fault through yours, but a little bit further up the field. But tightening those screws, and that's something Cameron, I think, mentioned last week on DinamoTV when he spoke with us. But your own performance, you must be really, really happy. There have been a few NPL Team of the Weeks that you've been, as well as winning the Player of the Week. So you must be pretty happy with your own performance.
Yeah, look, in all honesty, I can't say I'm the happiest, because we're just not winning games. I'd be a lot happier if we were winning games.
Yeah, yep.
I'm not doing terrible, but I don't think I'm anywhere near as good as what I can be either, which is good and bad in a way. I think this second half of the season, I'm going to really just try and just lock in as much as I can and help the team get as many points as possible and get us to where we belong, really. We don't belong down where we're sitting now. We belong a lot further up. And I think this half of the season, we're going to upset a lot of teams, and we're going to show the league what we're about.
Yeah, no, definitely we don't. We certainly do not belong where we are at the moment, near the foot of the ladder. I mean, you're only young. You're what, 21?
21, yeah.
Goalkeeper matures always a little bit later on, but you're starting to hit your straps really well. How important for you as a goalkeeper was to go to victory and go away from the familiar surrounds of Churchill Reserve and then eventually come back? But how important was that for your development?
For me, if any kid's got the opportunity to go to what they call an elite environment to be a part of your academy setups like your cities, victories, anywhere in the country, really, it's a must do. The coaching and the exposure you get is really it's second to none. And if you want to do well, you got to do as much as you can, and they'll make sure you're doing as much as you can over there. So it was probably the most important, probably best decision of my, can't really say career. I don't have much of one yet, but up till now, I look back and I go, I'm grateful I went there and went through all of that. Like, even if it does mean you end up back where you are, you become a better person on and off. You maximize everything you can, and it'll pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, very well put, Marco. Two big important games coming up over the next few days, next week or so. And I guess it all starts off with this week's game against Port Melbourne on Saturday. It's a Saturday afternoon kickoff, something a little bit different. Churchill Reserve kickoff at 5 p.m. The under-23s kickoff at 2:30. But we're into the second half of the season. It's going to be a tough game, but you're confident? Do we know much about Port Melbourne in the sense of what we need to do to get over the line?
Yeah, we know how Port Melbourne's set up. They're a bit tricky. They put like three at the back, and that turns into a five, and they're defending. They're tricky, but I think we're putting in a lot of work, and it's not so much focusing. We know what they're going to do, but it's focusing on what we can do, how we can do, and how we can hurt them when they're vulnerable.
Yeah. And then days later, next Tuesday night, the big one. Also Churchill Reserve, so we've certainly got a good opportunity to maximise the crowds and get as many people through the gates as possible. And the kitchen will be open, the bar will be open, the merchandise stalls will be open. It's all happening over the next few days. But the big one, Australia Cup Round 6 against Green Gully on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. kickoff. Is it hard to focus? I mean, the Australia Cup, we've got to that stage now. We're just a couple of steps away from the national stage. Is it hard to sort of focus on Port Melbourne when you know you've got this opportunity of a lifetime coming up a few days later, or has Cameron got the boys really focused on one thing at a time?
Yeah, I think it's more one thing at a time. We get past one game and then we focus on the next. We're doing everything we can in terms of loading and your recovery. Like, all the boys, they're all really mature, really switched on. It's just one game at a time. Like, if we focus one game at a time, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, excellent, mate. And what about yourself personally? Where do you see yourself in the next few years? Of course, Dinamo will be in the NPL for years and years to come. We do not doubt that. But what about yourself personally? Would you like to, try your hand at the A-League or overseas, or where do you see yourself in, 3, 5, 10 years' time?
Honestly, I'm taking it game by game, year by year. If I can do well, I know there is no ceiling to what I can achieve. I think. I think the A-League, A-League would be nice. Overseas would be nice, but right now my focus is Dinamo, and it'll stay the focus for the rest of the year.
Yep.
And we're just got to keep performing, and who knows, anything can happen.
That's awesome. Awesome to hear. Marco, it's always a pleasure having you on the show, and I'm sure this won't be the last time we'll have you on the show as Player of the Week. Congratulations once again. All the best for the next 7 days and beyond, but especially these two big games are very, very crucial to our chances and hopes for this year. So good luck.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Marko Bulic, once again, yes, we believe it's the third time he has won the Player of the Week award, and that's not a bad effort in 13 rounds. So we look forward to this weekend's games with lots of anticipation, and very, very quickly we'll have a look at that. There's Port Melbourne this Saturday, 5 p.m. At Churchill Reserve, and then 3-4 days later on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. game under lights, the big one against Green Gully. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back on DinamoTV after these short messages.
Westar Prestige is a family-owned second-generation business which is celebrating 50 years of operations this year. They're a specialist prestige collision repair facility situated in the western suburbs of Melbourne, Victoria. However, they service all regions in the state, with many of their clients travelling from far and wide to use their services. They're also able to provide a digital platform for quoting clients' vehicles who are unable to personally attend their premises. They're an authorised manufacturer-approved repair facilities for Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, Peugeot and Suzuki, and are proud of their ongoing affiliation with these brands. They also work closely with a number of Australia's largest insurance brands who entrust them to be part of their preferred repairer network. Their support staff are always happy to assist clients from the initial process of lodging claims through to the final stages of collection of the vehicle on completion of repairs and post-repair. So remember, for all your prestige collision repair needs, consider Westar Prestige, an award-winning, long-standing Australian-owned business.
Welcome back to DinamoTV. Now, before we wrap it up for another episode, we almost forgot, and we certainly cannot forget the Junior Boys NPL teams who last week did very, very well, in fact. 3 out of the 4 teams recorded wins. And the under 14s first up, they recorded a big 5-0 win over Brunswick City, that was. The under 15s, they had a big win away from home, 9-2 up in Bendigo against Bendigo City. Bit of a long way to go, but certainly it made it a lot enjoyable with a big win like that. The under 16s, unfortunately, they weren't able to make it a clean sweep. They went down to Brunswick City 1-3. And the under 18s shot to top spot on the under 18 Division 3 Northwest ladder. 2-0 win over Moreland City. So, of course, all of Dinamo's teams this year are in the Division 3 Northwest Division. The under 14s this week, they come up against Eltham Redbacks at Eltham North Reserve. The under 15s are at home against the Whittlesea Rangers. That game kicks off at 11:30 on Sunday. The under 16s are also away to Eltham, so both the Dinamo 14s and the 16s will be playing back-to-back games away from home and at the same venue. How coincidental is that? Eltham North Reserve is the venue, and kickoff there is 1:15. The under 18s, they'll be home to Brunswick Juventus, and their game kicks off at 1:15. So the 15s and the 18s this week will be playing a double header at home. One quick reminder about that Pork Fest, which is coming up next Friday 24th of May from 6 p.m. And get your tickets and get them very quickly because they will sell out. Contact Anna on 0401505 And folks, that brings us to the end of yet another edition of DinamoTV. Next week's edition, of course, will take a good look at all the weekend action. Plus, we'll also have all the the post-mortem, if you like, from Tuesday night's Australia Cup clash there at Dinamo when our boys take on Green Gully, one step closer to being on the national stage. Folks, from me, Tonchi Prusats, it's been an absolute pleasure to be once again in the host seat for DinamoTV, and a big shout out to everyone behind the scenes that does such a great job, and especially to the media team who, the social media posts, the activity has been absolutely phenomenal. So to Christina, John, Anthony, have I missed anyone behind the scenes? Rob Chorlina this week, Anthony Smallich as well, also behind the scenes, Ian Burke, who does the post-match comments with the respective coaches as well. So thank you to everyone. And Nick Daly, I can't forget him. He's also involved with the women's team. On that note, thank you very much for being a part of DinamoTV. And until next week, good night.